Amazon, social media, electric cars, fracking, nanotechnology, the sharing economy. None of these pies existed 2 decades ago. So why are we bitching? This is something we wanted to talk about, and Brodigan, you were passionate about this. Bill, have you been following Alexandria Cortez a whole lot?
Yes, I have been very, very, very diligently trying to figure out what her middle names are.
For the last 10
I haven't
minutes.
gotten quite anywhere else. That's about it.
$3.65 an hour.
Yes, I was about to say, can we multiply the hours by how much money have you spent on figuring this out?
So in non-surprising news, according to her, America no longer has the upper middle class. She said there's no more middle class in the United States. She's given a couple of interviews lately, but this is actually something more specific where she refers to. She's trying to paint a mental picture. Yeah. She's taking the mantle from Bernie Sanders. You know he's pissed about that.
She's going further left than he is, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see the clip first where she talks about this.
This like upper middle class is probably more moderate, but that upper middle class doesn't exist anymore in America. You know, their heyday was in the 90s when kids had like Furbies and like parents, you had like soccer moms with like 2 vans and stuff like.
Furbies and 2 vans.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
That's not America anymore.
No, it's not America anymore. You don't even recognize America if you have 2 actual crazy eyes. Yeah, look, this is...
That's awesome.
You know who's most upset about this is Bernie Sanders, because she's still more attractive than Bernie Sanders. It's true. He's like, socialism is an aging son of a bitch!
I mean, can you imagine being him staking out that far left position saying there's no way anybody's going to top this? And boom.
And he has to concede the territory. I'm a cisgender prick. The mantle is yours.
He started it.
But it's true though. This is how the left sees the world. Cortez. So when America right now actually looks like this. Alexandria something Cortez actually sees this.
Great movie. Love it.
Guys, by the way, let's get into her specific claim. Okay, she talks about the 90s in the middle class, and now she talks about 2 vans and Furbies and like stuff. Okay, today, actually, Americans have it better than the 90s. Let's just use her comparison. So the average vehicle, specifically, which you have per capita, Furbies sucked.
We've moved on.
Steadily risen along with the median income, yes, when adjusted for inflation. So even in her examples, they have more cars and they have more money. And by the way, when you look at things that she didn't bring up, which is what we talk about a lot as free enterprise advocates, and you can comment, I'd love to hear from you, with advancements in technology, things like, okay, think of plasma screen cell phones now, smartphones. Again, 90s, you go back, it was still just a cell phone, a cellular phone.
If you were lucky.
And smartphone, services, online educational assistance. Everything is more accessible than ever.
Well, what we're missing here is that what she actually wants to do is actually make food more expensive. Think about it. The food more expensive when it all has to be local and organic and has to go through everything and single thing possible that the business progress has made over the years so that people can get fed. That's actually the opposite of what she wants to
Especially try sticking a paper straw in a coconut. No, you're right. Actually, we have an overlay from American Enterprise. Food is cheaper right now and more healthy than ever. More healthy options than ever. They used to, remember they used to talk about this, these food deserts. Like, food deserts. Okay, well now there's Amazon Fresh.
Damn you, Amazon!
Here's the thing. They'd be even cheaper if we didn't price fix. So good examples is like in Michigan, because of Great Lakes, record highs in a lot of them, and actually some of the best crop years ever. The last few years, you know this, Nagajer. Michigans are very persnickety crops, so they need. It's not extreme cold or extreme hot. They need a very long, moderate, slow thawing winter, and they've had the best in years.
Damn cherries around.
So what happens? They make them dump cherries. Same thing in Canada from in Quebec. Remember they used to make them dump milk because they wanted the prices would be too low. Like, well, cherries will be too cheap, so we have to save the cherry farm. Let's fix the price of the cherries. And the milk, they're not giving them to cheese factories.
No.
They're not giving them to homeless.
Jumping down the drain.
Just give it to a homeless shelter. Price fix. Homeless shelter fixing prices. By the way, if we're talking about where the middle class is getting reamed on prices, at least as far as 2016 and 2017 is concerned, America has actually spent more money on taxes than food and clothing combined. Coming from your labor statistics, Miss Socialist.
A little bit more.
So if we want to talk about Americans having more money, again, like you said, take a closer look at the government. Also, by the way, Cortez, something Cortez, sees Furbies like this.
I kind of agree with her there.
She goes on to make another claim that unemployment is only low because Americans have to work 2 jobs. Let her say it.
The numbers that you just talked about is part of the problem, right? Because we look at these figures and we say, oh, unemployment is low, everything is fine, right? Well, unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs.
All right.
Everyone.
Even PolitiFact, bring this up, Rodigan, rated this as pants on fire. So, I mean, that is friendly pants on fire, by the way.
Exactly.
They searched the first page of Google and then wrote the article.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The first link says no.
That's what's remarkable about this, because I'm pretty sure PolitiFact is funded by Hillary Clinton donors.
Pretty much.
So for Alexandria, the Riz of the Jersey, and old dirty bastard Cortez to get a pants on fire.
How long have you been working on this?
I know, right?
That's so good.
And by the way, I want to get this correct. I'm pretty sure PolitiFact is funded by Podesta's Underground Pizza Sex Ring. Right, Bill?
That's absolutely
we can confirm
correct.
It's actually, yeah.
Not allegedly.
By the way,
matters.
we have the numbers. It's currently actually the number of I think job holders is about 7 million compared to more than 148 million Americans who are employed in a single job. So this is important. It's not because of 2 jobs. And by the way, also a lot of people are working second jobs right now because of something else that the left opposes. Ironically, socialists oppose the sharing economy. So people who work full-time jobs who don't have to work second jobs, they drive Uber or they use their home as an Airbnb and sometimes. So it's really hard to get those numbers. Even then, it's more damning than she would hope you to believe. Again, rated pants on fire. But here's another thing that she goes on to suggest, because the other things aren't necessarily working. So she just keeps digging her hole deeper and deeper with her bug eyes. I don't think she knows how deep the hole is. She's like, where am I? New ideas, right? Like universal basic income.
The mayor of Stockton, he's exploring doing a pilot program of universal basic
Mayor of
income.
Stockton.
That's also what people want right now.
bankrupt
They
city.
want
Yes.
new
What she
ideas.
actually means is Nick and Nate Diaz.
Right, yes, exactly. Nick and Nate Diaz.
Oh, my gosh.
Mayor of Stockton. She's like the mayor of Stockton, city commissioner of Toledo, Ohio.
Toodly-doo.
Happened in Flint. By the way, this is not a new idea. Universal basic income has been tried in places like Canada and Finland, and surprise, they're not continuing it. Yeah, it's not going on. And here's the thing: this is all based on the premise, and she repeats this a lot she repeats it ad nauseum, just like Bernie Sanders did. It's predicated on the concept that inequality is a plaguing, gigantic, evil social injustice.
And it's not.
We need stronger champions, but I don't think that they see exactly how rising income inequality has resulted in a very stark political reality.
We've talked about this. When people say about inequality, you say, well, what's wrong with inequality? Well, don't you think inequality is wrong? No. Well, and their brains explode. Let me explain to you. Yeah. Inequality in and of itself is not a problem if everyone is doing better. People can have greater economic equality and actually be far worse off. See Venezuela. So let me kind of give you an example. Let's say there's a $10 pie, okay? There's a $10 pie. I own 50, you own 50, right? We're equal. There you go. You have perfect equality. Now, is that better than, let's say you go and grow that pie to $500 pie. So now I only have 20% of that pie, right? I still have 20 times what I had before, even though the inequality gap has widened significantly. Where am I better off?
And most importantly, you have pie.
Yes. More importantly, you have pie. This is why inequality cannot be a measurement in and of itself. We say this, it's nuanced. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. Inequality doesn't exist in a vacuum. Anytime you have somebody who creates goods or services that benefit the rest of society, that gap is going to widen. Kind of like anytime Wayne Gretzky went to go play for a hockey team, guess what? The gap between his scoring and the rest of the players, it was always wider than before Wayne Gretzky arrived on the team, but everybody else played better. Well, they were soft for Wayne Gretzky being on the team? Of course not. And this is why, because I know we had a lot of Bernie bros who sort of jumped to Donald Trump, and we have a lot of people who are formerly sort of socialists who got on board with the anti-SJW bandwagon. I want to hear where you guys are right now with this Cortez business, if maybe your eyes have been opened. Not quite as widely as hers, but you understand where I'm coming from. This shows this.
Stanley Kubrick's eyes wide, very wide. Oh my God, they're so wide. Are you a pug?
It's a fundamental worldview issue where people like Cortez, she always says, "Oh, I have a degree, and I have a degree." So no, she doesn't understand economics because not only can that pie grow, as we've talked about, but as conservatives we've talked about this, due to human ingenuity in a free enterprise system, we can bake more pies. To use her own words, it's not the 90s anymore. I can name you entirely new pies that have been created since. This is a good example. People are like, oh, you say you can create new pies. I don't know why that's a really silly argument, but that's the actual argument that she's making. She thinks it's a zero-sum game. Okay, what pies have been created, have been baked since the 90s that didn't exist? Smartphones, Amazon, social media, electric cars, fracking, nanotechnology, the sharing economy. None of these pies existed 2 decades ago.
Or came from Venezuela.
Or came from Venezuela.
Or any socialist country for that matter.
Finland. I'm pretty sure not much.
No.
Maybe something during those times. I have no idea. I can't verify that completely, but I'm pretty sure Finland's crappy. So why are we bitching? Oh, that's right, because Cortez sees the United States like this. Hey, if you like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or if you want to continue to enjoy free content, support us at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub, where you get the full nightly show, an hour every day free, along with all of our friends' content. If not, you don't want to do any of those things, you're probably just here, you're watching me seething. You came here to hate watch. That being said, the internet was created for people like you.